welcome back to another Let Loose Dog Talk podcast. I'm Dennis with Vergara Bulls, this Ernest with Greyhawk Kennels, Gabriel with Gam American Bulldog, and our special guest, Vic, all the way from Hawaii.
Welcome,
So,
Vic. Welcome, my boy.
Nick, what's going on? Welcome, man.
Thanks, Vic, brother. So, this is something new we wanted to try out to give kind of the perspective of like a future buyer, kind of a pet homeowner, just giving us their experience of how is it, to on a daily basis with the dogs and just, kind of getting you guys' feedback, because usually they hear the breeder's point of view and stuff, but we never hear the customer. So we wanted to do something a little different. And I told these guys, I was like, I've been talking to Vic on the phone for months. I was like, it was last year, right, Vic?
It was I think I hit you up like 2 days into the new year. So like pretty much.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And we just been on the phone and finally, you came over a couple of weeks ago and, you came with your dad and checked out the dog. So, tell us a little bit, about your experience, driving out here. I know it was your brother's or your dad's birthday around that time, right?
Yeah, no, we went out to on my dad's actual birthday. It wasn't like the day after, the day before, like the day of his birth. And so my dad was like, I said, hey, Dad, no, this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to go visit my buddy Dennis. And the reason why my dad was so keen to go, because my dad used to have, I told Dennis, my dad used to have a Johnson about, I want to say about 10 years ago now. And that dog changed. We had dogs all our life, but that dog was something different for my dad. We found him at a pound. We found him at the Baldwin Park pound over here. And man, they were like, oh no, this is a English bulldog. My dad came up to the fence and said, no, that's an American. I didn't even know what American bulldog was. Yeah. I said, no, Dad, I think that's old English. He's like, no, I'm telling you right now, my dad's never wrong. Yeah, I know, you know your dad's right. Your dad's never wrong. I said, no, that's wrong. So my dad actually schooled me. I said, okay, what is it? So he told me all about it. So when I told him, I said, Dad, I'm going to go visit my buddy Dennis. Would you want to go? I was like, what does he do? I said, remember, he's the guy I've been talking to all year. He's out in the high desert. He breeds the American bulldog. He's like, all right, I'm there. What time does he want us? Where is it? Like 7 a.m. He's like, I'll wake up at 4:45. I said, no, you're not. He's like, I'll wake up at 4:45. We're in the car by 5:15. And sure enough, we ended up getting in the car super early, made our way down there. And then, dude, you treat us like family. As soon as we got there, it was just everything was the same as we've always been, our kind of communication. And he showed us all the dogs right away. And man, even as much as I love him, I've been following you for like a year and a half since I saw the YouTube video. Getting more and more information about the American Bulldogs. But even though I know that they're gentle giants, man, those dogs were scary behind the gate. I was from how many feet away from the front gate, and they were just no blinking, just breathing and watching. I said, I'm gonna let you introduce me. I'm not going back until you say it's okay for me to go back there. But they're the best dogs, man, the best dogs. But they do their job for sure.
And put it like this: when Vic came over, I took him down to the kennels, and Vic knows my property. You come out, and then I got stairs that go down where the kennels are at. Yeah. So the dogs are there, and they're paying attention, especially the girls. The girls were the ones that were on it. Like, who are you? Why are you here? Yeah. But I told Vic, I was like, don't worry, I'm here. I'm like, as long as they know that everything is fine, it's all good. And he wanted to see Peso because me and Vic had FaceTime before, and he saw Peso, and he's like, man, he's a beautiful dog. I was like, but you know what? Videos and pictures really don't do him justice. You have to see him in person. Yeah. And I brought him out, and Vic, gentle giant, right?
Dude, yeah, it was, he was on guard until you gave him the okay that it was okay for me to be back there with you. Even with me standing next to you, even though like dogs can pick up, like, he doesn't look like a threat. He's not bothering my dad, but I'm going to wait until this dude says it's okay for me. And as soon as you gave him the, hey, everything's cool, like you gave him some kind of verbal confirmation, and that was it. He came out just like the life of the party. He wanted to be pet. He wanted love. But like I said, man, if I would I don't know, throw a punch at you, my arm would be gone. My arm would be 100% torn off my body. One less walking out of there. Yeah, but he was good. He was so gentle, so loving. He reminded me of my dad's old Johnson that we used to have. His name was Samson. and he was pretty much all white except he kind of had a patch over his head. He was beautiful, big old fat head. I mean, we never measured it, but honestly, I would be surprised if it was anything less than 27 inches around the head. He had a fat head.
Big old
And
dog.
they reminded me of each other, except that my dad's dog, his American bulldog, the Johnson was Samson was like super excited because he got him. He adopted him later. I think he was like 2 years old when he got him, and so he was kind of set in his ways a little bit. So he would want to jump on you and jump in your lap. When I met Besso was like, "Nah, man, I'm cool, calm and collected. I'm gonna go play with my rope real quick. I'll come back. You can pet me some more." Like he was just all love.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
so before I told Vic and his dad, I was like, I'm gonna bring Peso out. I was like, but Peso is high drive and right next to the kennels, I got a spring pole for him. So I told him he's gonna come out and he's gonna go straight for that thing. I was like, he likes to work himself out. Afterwards, he'll leave it alone. He'll come chill with us. And I was like, and if I tell him to go, he'll go again. And sure enough, he got out of that kennel and he jolted to there, worked out for a little while, came back. But Vic, tell him about his breeding. After he was working out, he was with us. Did you ever hear any chainsaw breeding in there? Nothing, right?
No, I mean, I had Old English. I've had friends who've had traditional English bulldogs. I've met Frenchies, even Scott American bulldogs. And yeah, he came out, he played, he did the spring pole, and then he was just cruising after that. He wasn't like, hey man, I think you should put him in an ice bath, cool him down. He's struggling, to breathe. Bessel was like a bodybuilder at the gym who's used to pushing heavy weight, and after he can still have a conversation with you. He might push that weight, he might sit there and lift it real heavy and really do that workout, but after he can say, hey, let's talk story right now. Let's get to know each other. He was relaxed. He was totally calm. He was super loving, man. That's what I think I said that in that YouTube video you put up, but loving, just like a really, really loving dog. Not like, yeah, I'll let you pet me, but I don't really want to be bothered too much. He came up and he was just wanting belly rubs, wanting handshakes, scratching him on his chest. I'm used to big dogs. My Cane Corso that just passed, he was nice enough. He was always nice enough. Like, he didn't really like men coming in the house too much. He was better with women than with kids. But he was always like reserved with everyone for the most part. He got easier as he got older, but I know what that was like. So when I saw Besso, I was like, all right, I know how to approach big dogs. I know when dogs don't want to get to know you. Dude, he was just all about it. He just wanted petting. He wanted to, love. He wanted attention, affection. He's, big teddy bear.
Yeah, he's cool. We've had him over here at the house before, and he did some spring pole and some stuff. He's a fun dog. We love him.
Yeah,
man, it's crazy. All y'all like all Peso this and Peso that. Because when I went and saw Peso, I wasn't gonna pet that boy. Like, no.
No, it is true.
Because Dennis, I've been to Dennis's house multiple times.
Yes.
But twice since he's had Peso, but I only got to see it once. And it was what was it, March? That was about March. I was just there March of this year. They brought Peso out. Because you got to remember, I got big dogs too. My dogs are protection dogs. Well, Peso gave me a look. I said, nah, we cool. And Dennis is like, nah. Dennis like, nah, he gonna be all right. He'll be all right. I was like, I don't care what you say. I ain't put my hand over there, bro.
Yeah, I had Peso inside the house in one of the crates, right? And
oh yeah,
Ernest came over and stuff, and he spent the night here, and but I was like, oh well, that's special, and Ernest could tell you too, man. Pictures, videos don't do no justice.
No,
once you see him in person, even Gabriel would tell you, yeah, that dog there's something else.
Like what Peso is, he is super badass. Like just Peso's physique in general, like head type, that neck even solid with the jowl, that shoulder bulge on the outside, that bone, and even like that thickness going all the way down from the shoulder to the loin into the thigh. Peso carries a lot. Like it's just I've seen many American bulldogs. Like, but there's some good looking dogs out there, but there's something phenomenal in Peso that really I think it needs to be brought out to many of yards and dogs.
And shout out, shout out to the breeder that produced them because I didn't produce that dog. Vic, that dog, like I said, I acquired it, but I put in the work to have that boy looking like he's looking. I remember
when you first brought him,
Oh, that's right.
When we first got him, I seen him that day.
Yeah.
You did.
That's right. Yeah.
Gam
Gam came over.
I picked up Vagar.
Yeah. He came over to my mom's house, and he was gonna pick up a pup from me. And luckily he showed up when the transport guy showed up, and Gabriel firsthand, he saw him, how he came and everything, and then he saw his transformation into the dog that he is now.
Yeah, I saw it in pictures, but everything about Peso is great. But Vic, what was your opinion of Diesel?
Dude, so
yeah.
So I don't know about Diesel because Peso we spent more time on. I think right, we were cruising in the back Dennis for what 30, 45 minutes with Peso first. I got like maybe a good 15 minutes with Diesel. So Diesel blew me away because Diesel 11, right? Dennis?
Yeah. He's
11. Okay,
still got a youthful body.
Yeah,
OG.
Dude, so I have my iconic Corso who, like I said, he just passed. He was massive when he was a pup. He was a big boy, and he was the run of his litter. He was still pretty big. But you're talking. My wife and I were talking the other day because now you kind of start recollecting, go through pictures and stuff. Yeah. When he was about, I would say about 8 tops, you saw his size start decreasing. His muscle tone started going down. He was still moving. He didn't even get arthritis until this year, until he was almost 13.
Oh wow!
But you saw his size start going down. To most people on the street, you're still like, he looked nice, but he's still a little intimidating, but not scary. When I saw Diesel at the house, again, gentle giant, but for 11 years old, for a dog to maintain, an American Bulldog to maintain that size at 11 and that movement, the way he wasn't like, oh man, ooh, Dennis, his leg looks like it's, not working too good, or his spine looks like it's stiff. He was moving like a dog half his age. And he still has the size. I mean, if he's that intimidating looking at 11, what was he like at 2, 3, 4, 5? I mean, he looked phenomenal. Dennis was like, "Hey, man, I need someone to adopt Diesel."
Man, don't let him fool you with all that jazz. He's been doing that to me for years.
Yeah. No, he was a specimen, man. Just to look at, just to see him moving around, and then what blew me away. And we were leaving, we're saying goodbye, and I don't the Mexican goodbye takes forever. Me and my dad take forever.
No. It's just an ethnic goodbye, man.
Yeah. So we were leaving, and so Dennis is walking us out to the front yard. His front yard is not gated in; it's open. You can walk out to the street if you want. There's no gate to unlatch, and nothing like that. Diesel was just cruising within about a 4 or 5 foot parameter of Dennis the whole time. He never went more than, it was like an invisible leash. He wouldn't go out past that. And he just kept coming back. He would do whatever on the grass, sniffing around, letting us pet him, go back, kind of almost like keeping an eye on the street, watching Dennis, keeping an eye on the street, not going past that boundary. And it blew me away. So Dennis and my dad were talking. I just kept my eye on Diesel. I'm like, look at this guy. He's not going anywhere. He's not even trying to run after things. He's just cruising right here. Not even bothering.
And Vic, and that's the dog that reminded your dad of his boy, right?
Yeah. So Samson, my dad. Yeah, my dad's
there he is.
Freaking man, look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't get off on another point because there's so much I want to talk to you guys about. Because like I said, I've watched every episode.
We got all day.
I'm going on my walks. I'm doing my workout. I'm listening to you guys' podcast. Just like, wow, what are they talking about? What? And I'll go back. I'll skip past 30 seconds. Like, oh, and the things I'm learning. But it reminded my dad, and me and my dad are really, really close. I love my dad. I love my dad more than anything. My dad and my mom, super close to them. So my dad, I can see his heart get touched. That touches me. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. So Diesel reminded my dad of his dog, Samson. The only thing about Samson is Samson was like this with my dad. So long story short, the reason why my dad's, because we've had dogs all my life. We had all kinds of different breeds, small, medium, large. The thing that was so impactful about my dad's American Bulldog, his Johnson, who looks eerily similar to Diesel. I mean, he was big, barrel-chested, big old fat head, big neck, well-proportioned, you name it, good bones on him, was that dog came into life in a very instrumental time in my dad's life. My dad was, I don't want to never speak ill of my dad, but my dad struggled with alcoholism for decades of his life. That very summer 2015, it all came full circle right then and there. Boom, life just crashed. My dad had his last drink. Okay. My dad had gotten drunk and that was it. We had this big old family kind of intervention done. Okay. My dad was about a month into sobriety. And you're talking drinking till you're drunk 30 plus years of your life. And you're just kind of venturing out. Okay, I'm going to start living this cold turkey life. Right. So my dad's doing AA. He's getting his addiction managed. He's working through it. About a month into his sobriety, we're at the pound. I was at the pound just cruising, just hanging out, I think with my nephew. And then I see this dog who I thought, Old English Bulldog. Call my dad. Dad, there's this dog. They're asking I think 50 or 60 bucks for the adoption fees. It was like dirt cheap. My dad said, I don't got time for this. Dad, you got to come down. Comes down the next day. Said, I'll come with him. I come with him. He tells me that's American Bulldog, right?
Yeah.
So that I'm learning all about American. Okay, cool. He adopts a dog. That dog was instrumental, fundamental to my dad's sobriety. My dad is 10 years now. He's been sober from alcoholism. He and that dog Samson, even though that if you would have let that dog off leash in the front yard, I don't know if he would have behaved the way, I don't think he would have at all. Like Diesel would have. But if it wasn't for Samson, the American Bulldog, I really mean this, I don't know if my dad would still be sober today. I don't know if my dad had 10 years sobriety. He gave my dad discipline. So my dad is working graveyard for over 30 years of his life, right? My dad all of a sudden had this dog to take care of that every morning required a walk. So my dad would get off like 6 a.m., be home by 7 a.m. By 7:10, he's walking this dog. He would do 2-mile walk. My dad started losing weight. He started getting disciplined, right? So he'd go to sleep on about 3 p.m., wake up, do bills, do whatever. Before he went to work at 7 p.m., he would eat real quick, go take this dog on at least a mile walk. This dog gave him discipline. When he get home, the first person, because everyone else would be asleep, first person to wake up, give him love, this dog.
Yeah.
Wake up. Yeah. My dad started buying, he said, I'll never buy dog beds. My dad bought dog beds. I'll never buy dog toys. We had we were growing up, dogs were outside, you kept them outside, they don't come in. The toys, give them a branch, that's their toy. My dad was going to pet, find the best leashes, the best collars. He started taking he started taking Samson to this local, like a pet groomer.
Yeah.
I was like, and he made fun of me because when I had an Old English, I would just wash the dog. What giving the dog a bath for? In the backyard with the hose, right?
Yeah.
He's stinky. He needs a bath. My dad started taking his American Bulldog to a groomer that would brush him. They would do the nails. They would clean the ear. He would go there. He would tip this lady like 30 extra bucks. He's like, oh, she did a good job. She did a good job. It's like, damn. Man, if I could have recorded you back when I was 10 years old, when we used to have our dog used to make, who cares, man? Leave it in the backyard. You're treating this dog like a princess. But he loved it. And they get, I don't know if you ever heard of it, they would call it the paw aggress report.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your dog did during the grooming session.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He was holding a badge of honor. Hey, look at him. Look at what Samson. They said Samson's a good boy.
That's cool, man.
Hey, Vic, you know what I noticed that day? I noticed a spark in your dad once he saw Diesel. I saw like his eyes they glue, they were just glowing. And and it was crazy because he was already talking about fencing out his yard, and he's like, Dennis, when you have puppies, let me know. He's like, I'm gonna start fencing my yard so he could have a yard here, and you tell me what to feed him and everything. He's like, cause I think I'm ready for another dog. That blew me away. I was like, man, you know what? That's awesome. That's a impact that us as breeders do for like customers and stuff. And there's been a couple of stories that like with my Frenchies, there's been customers where they've lost dogs and and they said, you know what, we're not even looking into dogs, but they start looking into websites, and then my website appears, and then they see the dog, one of the pups there, and it resembles a lot like the dog they passed away. And then they form that connection. Usually for the Frenchies, my wife is the one that talks to them and stuff, and my wife is real emotional. She starts hearing the stories, and oh man, she starts breaking down and stuff. But it's a good feeling, like it's like we're doing a good deed as well.
Yeah, that's always nice. When the customer, like like in this case, right? We build friendships and relationships, and they share that. And I've had that too, where they've a husband and a wife. They said, "Hey, we're praying about a dog, and our dog passed away. We had him for a long time. But if we find one, we find one, and we'll go from there, right?" And they reach out to me on separate. One was on Instagram, the other was on email. Husband and wife, and they were inquiring about the same dog. And then they're like, "Hey, I found this dog." They're like, "No way, that's the same dog I found." Yeah, and it was, and they were like, it was great. They came even their like that. Your dad, it was their grandparents, them, and then their kids. So like 3 generations came to come pick up their dog, and man, it was awesome. And they felt that it was the right time, to get a dog. It's a big, we've all lost dogs, and it's not always easy, or like, hey, I don't know when, it might be too soon. And then when your family's involved, right, husband, wife, kids, everybody's got to agree, like, yeah, it's ready. And then you see that dog, and they do a lot. That's awesome that your dad's story and stuff. These dogs really are life changing.
I think kind of talking about what you're kind of mentioning, Gabriel, yeah.
Yes.
Gabriel. And dude, I follow all you guys on Instagram, man. So I'm like, my Instagram feed is like American Bulldog, bodybuilding, American Bulldog. That's like all it is. Dodgers, dude, it's Dodgers. It's stuff like that.
You got the Dodgers in there.
Dude, it's always Dodgers. My wife's
before we get too far, first thing is I want to say congratulations to your dad. Because just any kind of substance abuse, it becomes like a crutch, and it's hard to get away from that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know Dennis before. Like, I knew Dennis, but I didn't really know him like I knew him now. Like I know him now. But it's crazy because in the situation, I was going through a divorce, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I gave up all my dogs, and in the divorce, like, I started heavily drinking, like, a lot, and it became like my style. It's just all I need to do. But I ended up having to have a litter of puppies, and people wanted me to take them to various states and things like that. So it brought some life to me. And what I was sinking into, it brought me into a whole new world. And in that whole new world, what was born in that, and I now transport dogs for a living. Yeah. But it brought, it's crazy. Like, they always say this, and people think it's like a joke. That song "Last Night the DJ Saved My Life."
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, but it was dogs. It was dogs that saved my life, and I can get that. But then, and the next subject is, in our very first podcast, we talked about why we breed, and we breed for a lot of reasons, and this is one. There's remembrance of things, and which I still don't have an issue with color, but what we breed is the classic colors. Let's look at Vic. Vic saw Diesel, but what was he brought up on? On the classic type dogs.
Yeah.
So that helps. Even whenever I'm the same thing, and all of us selling dogs and everything, all my parents had a dog like this. I grew up with a dog like that. That dog passed away. So we're helping keep that lineage of what originality of dogs are. So kudos to Dan, Dennis, all of us that are keeping that classic lifestyle and that classic look of what a bulldog is. So everybody right here, right now, all of us, congratulations, and I applaud on you, everybody, for what they're doing right now.
Hey, same here.
Yeah. No, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I mean, I know my dad. He, I won't share his story, but yeah, he went through tough stuff, growing up, and that became kind of like you're saying, like a crutch. And, it took a lot of his life, but he got a lot of it back, and we're blessed, man. I mean, God has really blessed us. We're together. We all went through as kids and stuff, hard times, but we always had dogs, dude. That was one thing. When we were growing up, really, really, really little, our first place, we used to live in Alhambra. I don't know if you're familiar with Alhambra.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, real condensed city, right?
Yeah.
We were renting a small little house back of the property, couldn't have any dogs. Oh, mommy, want a dog. When we moved out to West Covina, we got our first home. We bought my dad as a homeowner. One of the promises was, I'll let you guys have a dog. And our first dog was an American Bulldog. I wish it was, but we actually had this amazing dog. I don't know if you ever heard the breed, the Korean Jindo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, that was our first dog, man. And we got her for $10 because they identified the breed.
Okay.
They thought it was Chow Chow puppies. And they had this female pregnant Chow Chows. And so the dog's Chow Chow, $10. I'll never forget that price. And my dad was like, $10. I was arguing 30 plus years ago. It's like, Dad, $10, come on, it's nothing. So we got the dog and we had her for 14 years, man. And she was the most protective dog I've ever had, that I saw like straight up, you're not entering this property. She was only like maybe 50 pounds soaking wet, but she didn't put up with anything from anyone. She was like, I don't care who you are. Like, if you're not part of this family, I got my eye on you. She was very protective. She was an awesome dog, man. I still miss her. I still think about her, but she was a great dog. 14 years old, she lived. But I kind of wanted to remark real quick, if I can, kind of going with what Gabriel was saying, and all of you guys actually all have been saying. But the second half of my dad's story with that bond with that dog. So he had the dog for a few years. My mom and my dad had to move from the property they had. And so they moved in at first with my aunt. He was actually living with his sister. She's like, you can bring the dog here, no problem. He kept him in the backyard. Eventually, my mom and dad got a place of their own, but no dogs whatsoever. Sorry, you're just not going to bring him. My dad's like, look, I got to move in with your mom. So he kept the dog in my aunt's place for a little bit. My aunt eventually said, hey, no more. This dog needs to go. He found a friend through, I think it was at work, a colleague. It was like, hey, you know what? I have a nephew. He has a property in the high desert. I don't know exactly where it was. I don't know if it was Hesperia, but, you know, he's willing to adopt him if you want. So my dad picked up Samson, drove him down, and the guy provided it. He had a huge property, kind of like your size, Dennis, like a real big property, big yard. So it's like Samson can run around all day. And so that was, I want to say, like right during COVID. I want to say like 2020 that happened. All of that went down.
Yeah.
And then couple of years later, I remember I was at work one day and I get a call from my dad. And I was going on. So, hey, Dad, what's up? It's like, hey, you know, we're just catching up real quick. He's like, hey, I'm on my way to go check in on Samson. I said, okay, is everything okay? Because he didn't sound like himself.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you know, the guy said that he's not doing well and I want to see what's going on with him. I said, okay, well, what, you know, when you're done, why don't you give me a call and let me know what's going on? So short story, he goes over there, checks on Samson. He's like, you know what? He's not eating. He's not drinking. He doesn't even want to play because he had other dogs. He's not acting like himself. He doesn't want to play anymore. He's losing weight. We don't know what's going on. So my dad said, listen, I'll take him to the vet. I'll pay for the bill. Let me see. Let me take him real quick and go see what's going on. He takes him to a vet out there somewhere. I don't know where. And the vet couldn't even pinpoint it. He's like, I don't know. He's, you know, we tested him for this. He doesn't look like he's anything that's out of the at first glance, I can see what's going on. He doesn't have any cancer, you know. So my dad's paying for all these tests. So my dad ends up taking him from the vet, goes back to the guy's house. He's like, listen, you know, they're gonna run a couple more things. We gotta wait, but they didn't find anything at first glance. His breathing seems fine. But when my dad had seen him, Samson was like, just whoa, you're here. You're so happy, right? He's like, so he gets a call a few days later. The guy's like, hey man, when you were here, I haven't seen him that happy in forever. He was just like his old self again, running, jumping, playing in the yard with all my other dogs, eating. We gave him food. It was like, good, everything's back to normal. My dad left. He gets a call, I want to say like a week later, and Samson dies. Whoa, and so my dad calls me, tells me this, right? So my dad tells me this whole thing. And at the time, I didn't believe it. I actually looked into it now. And I was talking to Dennis about this. I'm a firm believer in this now because I've seen it with human being, human-to-human relationship, and people to dogs. Specifically, I don't know about people to cats, maybe does, or other animals, I'm sure, but people to dogs. My dad told me, and I said, Dad, now you're silly. But now I really do believe him. He said, I think Samson died of heartbreak. I said, what? What are you talking about, heartbreak? He's like, Dad, I'm like, Dad, that's like when a husband loses his wife or vice versa. They lose a child. I get that. No. He's like, I'm telling you, mijo, I think he died of heartbreak. He's like, if you look at everything, they ran the test, they couldn't figure it out. But his will to live just started draining because my dad and Samson were like this. They did everything together. And then my dad had to give him away. And so when we walk into the property, we go see Bessel. At first, my dad's like, dude, Bessel, man. Oh, yeah. My dad's loving him. But then he saw Diesel. And Diesel and Samson were like a spitting image of each other. I mean, they were like almost like clones of each other. And something in my dad just like took to him. And then he started asking all the questions, Dennis, right? Like, let me see if I figure this out, you know?
Yeah. No, and you know, it was crazy because on my website, like I said, I have a guardian home as well. and he's like, I'll sign up for that, Dennis. I'll give him the guardian home, like, and you decide on him. Like, we'll take him to shows. You tell me what to feed him and everything. So I told him, I was like, Vic, I was like, when you're ready, you tell me. Like I said, I'm gonna have puppies. I bred a female Vic just probably 2 weeks ago, and I have two in season right now. So I should be breeding them hopefully this week, and we'll see.
Does that mean Athena? Does that mean Athena too?
Athena too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I've been waiting on that one. So I know you don't want to put it out there. I know you don't want to put it out there. We're all on big stuff right now, but Athena too.
What's funny is that we go out there. So I was out there about 2 months ago with Dennis, right? Yeah. I feel like I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm talking too much.
No, Vic, go for
it. I have a question to ask you guys too. So
there you go.
We go out there, and so the reason why I reached out to Dennis in the beginning, one, I love American Bulldogs. I love Johnson and Scott. So long story, boom, back. I used to have an American Bulldog back in the day, and I forgot. His name was Petey, and he was a Scott American Bulldog there. I had one. My dad, whatever. I was about 2 years old, 3 years old. My dad said, "I got him. You're a toddler. You're a baby." And then someone stole him from our yard in Alhambra when I was like 5. So I don't really remember him. There's pictures of us with him, but I don't really remember that far ago, Yeah. But anyway, we go visit Dennis. I take a video, I take pictures, I send them all to my wife because my wife is back here in Hawaii with my kids, right? I went on a solo trip real quick, there for like a week, meet up with Dennis. My son and my daughter, my son specifically, my son is autistic. He's very, very blessed, but he's high functioning, he's verbal, but his brain works in different ways than my daughter. My daughter is neurotypical, no autism. That's why I reach out to Dennis and like, hey, Dennis, dude, you blessed me so much with your friendship, bro. I got to say that real quick. I got to interject with that because I hit you up in the beginning of the year. You could have been like, I don't got time for this, or not answer the phone at all, or not text me back, or not give me a minute of your time, or anything like that. This dude picks up, hey, what's up? How you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm Dennis. Yeah, I got time for you. Dude, the day I hit this guy up was like, hey, you want to FaceTime real quick? I said, yeah, all right. Okay, sure. Yeah, if you want. Are you sure? Am I ruining your day? He's like, no, I'm just cruising at the house with the dogs. Me and my wife. No worries, man. He's like, you tell me when you're ready. I'll call you FaceTime. Like day of. So but I reach out to him because I had asked. I said, listen, I knew my Cane Corso was probably on his last year of life. We have a Pit Bull Boston Terrier mix, and she's getting older. But I reached out. I said, look, dude, I've been watching for the same YouTube video for 1 year over on a loop. That when the documentary came in, and
yeah.
And I said, this is amazing. I can't believe I'm talking to you, but if you have some time, I would love to ask some questions. I said, go ahead, shoot. I said, listen, the most important thing to me, I love the size, I love the look, I love the strength. I've had nothing but big dogs most of my life, And I said, the number one thing that's most important to me, I don't care about color, none of that stuff. Temperament. Temperament is the number one most important thing to me. I've been bitten by a lot of little dogs in my life. I've been told to get away, that when the dogs look at you like big ones, I don't need you near me. All right, no worries. I said, I need to trust a dog implicitly with my children. My son, give you quick backstories, not because he's not neurotypical, he's autistic.
Yeah.
He needs a lot of pressure. I train jiu-jitsu, I train fighting. My son, I've been doing that with him since he was in diapers. He needs I don't know if you know a lot about autism, but the physical pressure communicates a lot to them. So even though he can tell you like, hey, daddy, I'm upset because this happened at school, the way to calm him down sometimes is not a lot of times with words, it's with pressure. So I'll come in like, come here. And we'll kind of play around jiu-jitsu. We'll kind of, move around, but it's giving them that input. I said, I can't have a dog. My Cane Corso was not like this. My Cane Corso at times didn't want to be bothered. Don't touch me. I don't want to wrestle with you. I don't want hugs from you. Even sometimes from the adults. He was cool with the adults, but like the kids, sometimes he was always respectful. He never once went after a kid, never once bit, never once nothing. But he would tell you like, I'm not cool with that. I don't want that right now. I said, I need a dog that tells the opposite. You see these videos. I mean, I've looked at them. I was telling Dennis, I've looked at these videos of kids who are very severely autistic. I don't know. I'm sure you've seen them. They put them they give them a dog, right? Like these trained dogs that are trained for autism or something of that nature. Dude, I looked into it with my wife. they cost like 35, 40 G's to get those dogs. You get them when they're about 2 years old. They have to pair them with the child. Out here in Hawaii, there's programs out there where they can give you like a financial aid for those dogs, but out here you get nothing. I don't got 40 G's to pull out of my pocket for a dog that's going to be like this with my son. I don't have it. Yeah. So I told Dennis from the get-go, I said, listen, man, these are all the questions I have. This is what's most important to me. The temperament of these dogs, is it something that is can mesh well with my son? So I gave him the kind of story about my son. This is, a roundabout of who my son is as a person. Would that mesh well? And if not, no worries, dude. It's not a problem to me at all. I'll just continue on my search for another breed. Dude, he laid it all out for me. He's like, no, I'll send you. He started sending me videos, pictures, talking on the phone, returning my messages. Hey, what's up, brother? Yeah, blah, blah, I said, look at this guy. Dude, I know he's busy. He's got a full-time job. He's got a family. He's making the time to get back to me every time I tell my wife. She's like, oh, that's amazing. I said, right? How many breeders have you met that give you their time of day?
Yeah.
You don't get too many.
That's what happens.
Yeah, like you don't get too many that will truly like that rapport of building with your needs and everything and really looking out for you, because you'll get a lot of people that are really trying to sell you the dog. But I can say this with me, Gam, and with Dennis: if the dog doesn't fit you, we won't sell it to you. If you don't fit us, we won't sell it to you.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna do with like, let's say we don't believe you're gonna do right by the dog, we won't sell it to you. We're here for the dog, and we're here for the families of the people we're selling dogs to. It's not about the money. It's about the relationship between dog and family for all of us. And like number one, when you're saying that temperament, that's one thing that I applaud Dennis for, because we all believe in that. And I've had so many prey-driven dogs. And when I met Dennis, and it was probably, I would say probably about 3 weeks later, I was like, bro, I need to borrow your dog for something. And I said, I was like, well, I got one breeding. You might be cool with that. I said, but what Diesel is, he's literally what I know a bulldog to be, but I need a little bit more from it. And I said, you may not be cool with this, but I want that temperament to remain. And he's like, oh, man, I might be. Go ahead and shoot. So I told him. And he said, bro, that's crazy. So hats off to you, Dennis. Carry on that legacy of temperament for family and still having, still protection sense for everybody.
Yeah.
So we all have those same bloodlines and the same temperaments in our dogs. So they say you need to do something, you can do it by yourself. But if you want to make something move, you need an army. And there's 3 of us right here. Yeah. And that's all we believe in is temperament, all the way through.
And Vic, Gabriel will be a good good person to tell you about temperament as well, because Gabriel has bought dogs for me. He works the same lines that I have, but Gabriel has a little baby and a 3-year-old.
Yeah, right now my daughter, she'll be 1 on the next weekend. My son is 3, my daughter's 8, and my other daughter is 16. So we got all ages, and all the kids are with the dog. My daughter, she loves them. We have them inside to bring them in the crate. She just sits in between the 2 crates and just puts her fingers in there, and they just wag their tails, and they're with her by themselves. And my son too, since he was born, we've always had puppies. Actually, when my son was born, we had a litter like the same week. So like we had puppies, and then we were at the hospital. My son was being born. So I was like, can you guys get us out of here? Because we need to get home to our, I think it was like 8 puppies that litter. Yeah, I think that's where, and that was the Daisy, which is Diesel daughter, and Peso. So I have Macho. I kept a dog from him. But yeah, these dogs are great with kids. And I always tell people too, like, we like to host, I like to entertain. So we have people, and they're legit, and that's why we like them. Family. My mom has some of our dogs. Everybody's, it's kids are, it's important. You got to be able to bring a dog home and everybody feels safe and like the dog. When I was little, I remember I had a bad dog. He hated my dad. He loved everybody else, but like not my dad. But these dogs are like, they love everybody. If you're the family, right? But they're good dogs, and they're intimidating, even if they're not. Somebody comes, like you said, right? You're like, this is cool. I don't really know if I'm gonna go that way, but no, they're good dogs, and Dennis knows. But yeah, temperament is key. But that's a cool story, and it's important and that we have that relationship and talk to people or take the time, send you like articles and stuff. Not everybody's gonna do that. They're like, this is the price and this is a dog.
Yeah. Like they'll tell you, here's the price, here's a dog, and they go like not tell you nothing about the dog or themselves at the same time. But exactly. Like just like Gam has blood, like he has more than I do from Dennis. I have one female that's actually Gam's dog, Daisy. Daisy's mom is my female's belly sister.
Yeah.
So I have a dog named Pelote. So they're like half sisters. They just have different dads. But same genetic look, but temperament solid there. Like, I have prey-driven dogs. I had to get away from that and find a temperament that really fit. I don't have any young children, but I have a niece. And before I moved out to here to Florida, I'm in Florida. I lived in Oklahoma where I was raised. My first American Bulldog lines I got into, I had one dog, he was in a crate, and my niece was jumping on a little small trampoline. And my mom was like, look, she's like, Ursula, why that dog look like he want to eat your niece? And I'm like, nah, he don't want to do that. And this is what I didn't know much about this prey drive. And I'll tell you, he was like, nah, I'm going to eat your niece. And some situations happened. I'm like, oh, no, you got to go. So I had to start finding another lines. But my niece loves dogs. But Pelote's the half sister that what Gam has. My niece and this dog, it doesn't matter. It can be a year apart from seeing each other.
Yeah.
You would think it was just yesterday that they didn't see each other. And she's just all up in my niece. And my mom, like before I moved, I would always have the little gatherings and cook on Sunday morning. And Pelote's and my niece were like best friends. Like it was just instant as soon as they see each other. And that's really tight on that Bagara line, man.
And Vic, and Gam left something out. He had a litter. What was it in this year? No, it was last year. But they went to their homes, I think in February, and that litter he left out that his boy, his two at that time, 3-year-old boy. I mean 2, whatever. He would jump in the whelping box with the puppies, and he'll be there playing with them. Just mom right next to them, letting them do whatever he wanted with the pups,
Mom, no problem. She wouldn't give him any issues.
No, she was good. He would sit in there with them and hold the puppies, and she knew who he was and that he was, wasn't no harm, and they had that same relationship, But and it was good, and not everybody, you could do that with.
No.
Yeah, you can't do it with everybody.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's the thing too. The good moms. That's what in those lines too. They've all been pretty good moms. Haven't had no issues, and they take care of everything and do the job. And that's just good with kids. Daisy will love you to death, and they could be super rough with them, and they're good. They're solid dogs. That's why. I mean, we've been doing this for a while now. We've had so many.
I gotta. Like we can go on and on and on about our dogs and everything, but I got a question for you, Vic.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
So, you went through a whole lot with Dennis, the rapport, and all that stuff like that. But what was that one thing? What was that one thing that made you like, yeah, this is where I'm getting a dog from?
Oh man, that's a hard question. I was thinking about that since I left, since I want to go visit him. But
that says a lot.
Yeah. The reason why I've been bothering Dennis all year. I think I hit him up on January 2nd. If I look on the text messages, like right after New Year's Day, I was like, just call this number. Let's see if this dude answers. And this Dennis is of the Gar Bulls. And wait, hold on. Is this AI?
Hold on, wait, hold on, right?
It's an answer machine.
But what it was, and I think about this, and it's this word, and it plays out a little bit different, but it's kind of an umbrella. Consistency. Dennis has been consistent with me since the beginning. Dennis would sometimes initiate text messages. Hey, real quick, look at this. I found this old picture of Bessel, or this is, Bessel's son, Diesel. This is me at a show. I'm showing this dog. And, I didn't even hit him up today. I'm like, okay, dude, that's amazing. And I'll hit him. Oh, it's my dad's dog. Man, the dog is beautiful. Look, I saw one. I had one just like that. Consistency. Because I can't tell you, I was telling Dennis this. I'm pretty sure I told him this in person when I was at his house a couple months back. I said, I wasn't born yesterday. I have been the fool of a few dogs I've gotten in the past. My old English, got me and my wife got him in 2011. We got him like a dummy. You get older, right? You make mistakes, you learn from your mistakes. Okay. I got him at a pet store, not knowing any better. He died in my arms at 18 months old of this super rare disease. Even the vets, I've been doing this for 33 years. I've seen this like 2 times. It's called myasthenia gravis. He's like, it happens in human beings and dogs. That was my first mistake. So we wait, dog dies, we're mourning. Me and my wife, that wrecked us. Okay. And I'm leading back to Dennis and consistency. So then a couple months later, we get our Cane Corso. Like a dummy. I got him from a breeder who I thought was a legitimate breeder out in Alani, out in Cali. Okay. We're living out there at the time. I get him my Cane Corso from the beginning. And I thought I saw the signs, but I tried to ignore it because I just wanted a dog so bad. And when you're desperate times call for desperate measures, right? You kind of not thinking straight. Yeah. I got this dog, and he had a host of issues. He was afraid of his own shadow. Now, when you get a Chihuahua who's afraid of his own shadow, no big deal. They might pop the skin if they bite your pinky. No, nothing to it because it weighs 5 to 10 pounds. When you get a Cane Corso that's 110 pounds and they have razor sharp teeth and the strongest jaw of the strongest bite force, right? And they look at you, you look at them funny, and they look back at you funny, and they're going after you. That could take your life. So we had to put serious work into that dog from the very beginning. But when I hit up that breeder, hey, what's going on with this dog? We got this dog. Oh, he wouldn't even get back to me. If he did, no refunds. That's what he's talking about. You're good. You got the dog. Okay. Thanks. I learned from my mistakes. So then my next dog, I got my pit bull. I got her for $30 out of a vet. The vet was like, we almost ran over her the other day. You want her? I got her. She's been the best dog. Okay. But all my interactions with breeders over the years have been like, they don't get back to you. They do get back to you. Here's the price. What are the parents like? Here's the price. That's all they get back to you. They're not forming that kind of relationship because they don't care because they're doing it for the money. They're trying to be like, hey, I sell American Bully XLs. I'm trying to make $100K a year doing this. How many litters has that female had? She's 2 years old. Why are you asking? How many has she had? If they tell you, it's like, oh, like 4. So she's how old? She's 2 years old. And she said, how many litters? Why are you asking for? It's like, oh. And then you see pictures and they're, east-west paws. They got bad bone structure. They got roach back. They're all falling. They look like Frankenstein's monster. Okay. Those are all the interactions I've ever had.
Hey, it sounds like you was a breeder once in your life.
2, if he does pick up the phone, here's the price. What do you need? I say American Bulldog. All my information's on the website. Thank you. Click. That's what I thought. That's what I was expecting. Not even thought. That's what I was expecting up here. Then he answers the phone. Then he answers all the questions. Then he initiates conversation sometimes. Then he asks me, hey, what was your dad's dog like? Hey, this is what I do because I love him. This is what I'm working towards. Not like he never even told me the price until I came out and asked him like a month after our conversation started. I said, hey, real quick, what do you sell dogs for? Oh, this is my price. That was it. And then end the conversation. He wasn't like, oh, I negotiate, or I triple for this much, or this is what I do, or I charge this much, but I don't do any health testing. I don't care about that. You want the dog? Yes or no? Never. There was never any attitude. There's consistency in his kindness, consistency in his communication, consistency in his effort and his work. Look at my dogs. Look at my pedigree. This is what I'm working towards. And never boastful. Just like, here's the imperfections I've seen. This is what I'm working toward. Never like, hey, my dogs are the best. Don't bother me if you don't want them. Never like that. There was never any attitude. So consistency, I think that was the thing that kept me coming back. Like, hey, this guy is, man, I would even talk to my wife. I'm like, he's so nice. What the hell's going on with this guy?
What's wrong with me? Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'd be the kind of big umbrella term then to every other subcategory.
And you know what, Vic? It's just my personality. Like again, like I said, he bought a dog for me. And it started off from that, we got on the phone, we're talking, and honestly, he jumped on the litter that, he wanted a female. The males were kind of reserved, and when he said, oh, I want a female, and I'm like, oh shit, all right, cool. And he got first pick of the litter for the females, and to me, she was the best puppy from the litter. We met. I met him and his fiance. They came and picked up the dog and stuff, and we started the conversations. But I always kept in contact with him. If he had any questions, he'll reach out. I'll reply, and then it just became a friendship. And he wanted to know a little bit more about the dogs and and stuff. And I invited him to come out to the dog shows. And I was like, bring the dogs, let's show them. I'll show them for you. And then, I want you to get involved in it so you could have that connection with your dog and a different experience. And man, now, how old is Daisy again? 5?
Yeah, like 5.
It's been 5 years that, we became friends, and, we got a lot of stuff in common that we didn't know we had it.
We found that after.
Yeah. And now we're doing this podcast together. And like I said, like you, I don't consider you as a customer. You're a friend to me now. You're family,
Yeah.
No, that's what it's about.
I've met a bunch of breeders. I'm telling you, like, I've never met a breeder like you before. Never met man, honestly, people as nice as you. And I've been listening to the podcast. I've listened to almost every episode. I think I maybe missed one so far. But even your guys' communication within each other, your dynamic as the three of you guys. I know you guys had Fuerza before he came on, and
he was a good.
You guys are all just talking about, like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to make it better. This is what I love about the breed. You're not like, oh man, I sold this puppy the other day for like X amount of money, or my females, my bitches are giving this many puppies per year. I'm a puppy fat. No, just, man, this is what I love. This is what I love to do. This is my passion, and this is what I want to share with the world.
And that's what the three of us, Vic, like I say, we don't live off our dogs.
Yeah.
The three of us work and stuff, so we could stop breeding and our life is not going to change. Our bills are still going to get paid and everything.
I don't know if that's like true for me, because if I stop breeding, my whole life is going to change. It's because I'm creating my own thing, so I can't stop breeding.
Yeah.
No, of course, yeah.
But seriously, like, to be honest with you, like, we're all friends.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Like, I met Dennis, like, I knew Dennis through over the years, and just like, just talking on different forums and stuff on Facebook. But then I started transporting for Dennis. So it started with business. So this is a business transaction that's become a brotherhood. And I'll tell you, day in, day out, I'll probably talk to Dennis like 5-6 times a day, like verbal. And I'll probably text with him all day long too.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, I got this on my mind. Yo, what do you think about doing this? I even hit him up today, like, hey, should I breed this dog to this dog?
Yeah.
Like, or should I take this one? But it's just like, but we don't breed, like, we breed for the better of the breed. We breed for what we see that the breed needs, as well as our own home. And we throw things off of each other, piggyback things, and we even learn things, like things that I may know or Cam knows, that we just bring that all to the table. And it just opens a whole world of knowledge and it keeps the energy there. Like, it's literally like the beginning of Sunday night football, Monday night football. That's how much energy we have every single time. Like, we start, like, it's like, yo, let's go. We got to do this. So there's a lot of energy and a lot of friendship here. So I think we all connect on the same things.
Yeah. But I've never met Ernest actually in real life.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
But we've been talking and texting and messaging and doing this for years now. I think almost as long as me and Dennis.
Yeah.
But we just build these, relationships and put that to the table. Yeah, me and Dennis talk all the time. My girl be making fun of me. Who's that?
That's how I used to be. Yeah.
Who are you gonna send that to?
Yeah. You can't fake that kind of stuff either. You can't fake it. Like, either you have the dynamic or you don't. That's it. Either it is or it isn't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So no, I see it. Yeah, or exactly. That's the word. Organic.
Yes.
Yeah,
natural. It all happened naturally too.
It's funny. This has nothing to do with dogs, but I was just telling my wife this yesterday. My kids have their best friends in the neighborhood, dude. They're like this, always with each other. When they get out of school, they were like running the neighborhood with each other.
Yeah.
The kids are amazing. I love those kids almost like mine. Like, those kids are was uncle, because in Hawaii, if you're older, you're always uncle, right?
Always uncle.
No relation. I mean, you can meet them at the grocery store. They still call you uncle. And you know Ernest, right? You were here.
Yeah. It's always uncle.
So, but they're always like, hey, uncle this. And I just love those kids, man. But me and those kids' parents, they're a nice couple on their own. But we don't. There's no dynamic where like we want to cruise with each other, where we have like things to talk about. My interests are not their interests. Theirs are not mine. And so I was just telling my wife, I'm like, man, isn't that so weird that our kids' best friends, who they have to be with every single day, us as parents are not that same dynamic. We don't have like, there's nothing for us to talk about, you know? Yeah. It's weird. Like, and I'm a social guy. Like I can talk to anyone about anything. Like I'm very read. I love learning all the time. And that's my wife's like, I can't figure out what talking about. I just can't. Like there's nothing there. I can't fake it, you know?
Yeah,
it's like, weird. You guys got it, man. I'm telling you. I listen to the podcast. I listen. I go do my walks. I go do my work. I literally put my headphones in, my earbuds in, and I just listen to podcast. I listen to you guys talk about American Bulldogs.
Yeah,
nice. Like, thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. But like, you know, like how before we come on and like start hitting into the studio, but there's so much that we do behind the camera. So just like cracking jokes and some things like we don't even bring that out here. Like we could, but then people will be like, but we're just not gonna.
It's the same thing like right? You go get your hair cut. You're shooting the breeze with the guys cutting your hair. You're not gonna go talk like that at work. You're probably not gonna bring conversations at work, right? Not saying
no. Not at all.
It's just a brotherhood thing, Vic, because we might not agree on a lot of stuff, you know, when it comes to dogs, but we'll throw an idea out there that I think is good, but then I hear Gam or Ernest feedback, and then I'm like, well, they didn't agree with me, but they didn't agree with me because such and such and such. So then I kind of take it back and I'm like, okay, well, they didn't agree because of this. You know what? Maybe they're right. So we help each other out when it comes to dogs and stuff. You know, I know some things that, you know, maybe Gam or Ernest might not know, and they think, hey, this will work, and then I break it down like, oh, I don't think because of this. I'm giving you my opinion. If that was me, I wouldn't do this for this, and then they'll consider it, and then be like, you know what, maybe you're right. Yeah, but you
need that because as iron sharpens iron, you need that
exactly.
Especially men in this day and age more than ever. You need that. You need to have the kind of relationship someone you call a homie doesn't mean, especially means you should not be agreeing 100%.
Yeah. Your homie should never be a yes man.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real homeboy. Like, yo, I'm gonna tell you like it is. You can take it or leave it. You can like it or love it. It don't matter. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. And that's one thing about all of us. Like, yo, you gonna say, hey, this is what it is, bro. I don't agree with that, or I do agree with that. But we always keep it honest with one another. Like, ain't no point in having a friendship that's built off false information or false characteristic. That's not a real friendship. It's not a real bond. It's like,
well, it's what Gabriel was saying earlier. It's either organic or it's not organic, right?
Yeah. It was kind of like, you know, like you can't, like, what is it? Like a cop can never be friends with a criminal because everything is built off the beginning of it. It's a false lie. So your friendship will never last if you're starting with lies or have lies in it. So because the lies are going to come out and the truth is going to break everything apart. So you might as well keep it real up from the beginning.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I had a question. So I try to paint a picture for Dennis. You know, like I said, dude, if I hit him up more than once every 2 weeks, I'm like, I'm bothering this guy. I must be bothering him. I'm sending him another stupid text about whatever. Hey, I have a question. But this whole time I've tried to paint a picture like, this is what I'm looking towards. And I kind of gave you guys a brief synopsis of it. Like, okay, first and foremost, temperament for my son, right? And I have my little baby girl too. Baby, she's not a baby no more. She's like almost 7. But I have my little ones, and they both love dogs. My son, like I said, sometimes he can't control his body. So I need a dog who doesn't just put up with it, but loves almost that. Like that kind of like physical, like, no worries, man. I got you. You can lay on me. We can watch a movie together. Like if you're upset, I know what to do. Because I have my little pit bull now. She's a little pit bull Boston Terrier. And dude, man, that dog, something about her, she knows emotions. You're having a bad day. You had a tough day at work. You and the lady maybe had a disagreement. There's some tears. You don't ask her. She'll just come up to you and put her weight on you. And she's like 35 pounds. So she's little. But she will come up and give you love. And you're not even asking. Okay. So when I think about these things, and this is the question I kind of have, and like I said, I'm trying to paint this picture for Dennis. This is what I'm looking for. In a way, I'm looking for the perfect dog. And there's no perfection on this side of eternity. I get that. No. I understand. There's no perfect woman out there. There's no perfect job out there. There's no perfect anything out there. But in a way, that's what I'm asking for. What I visualize, what I want from an American Bulldog owner, my future, whenever that is.
Yeah.
I want a dog who is protective, who is calm, who is loving, who will, at a moment's notice, without even thinking twice about it, would lay down their life for the family. That dog I can trust on leash. I can trust off leash. I know will not put up with any other dogs or person's BS, but is also loving and welcoming. You know, it's not like Bessel, dude. I met Bessel's like, I'm not messing with that dog until Dennis gives you okay. Yeah. But once he gives you okay, dude, Bessel was all good. So like, I'm looking for all of that wrapped into one dog, and that's why I've been American Bulldogs.
Did you get a dog from you have
he hasn't gotten a dog from me.
Oh no. Well, I'm just gonna, Dennis, you already know I'm gonna bring it out there.
Go ahead.
I have one.
Oh, you have a dog now?
That's exactly like that.
Okay.
100%. Like she's laying right here.
Oh, she is. Oh, I can't see because
no, I can tell her to come here, but she's so what I was looking for as far as a dog is not just so much as everything you asked for, but I have a female I take on the road with me. And I mean, whenever I'm driving and she's right here at the little console area, she always keeps her back to me so she can watch everything behind me. But then if there be a moment, I'll be going through like stress or struggle, like on traffic or somebody's annoying me. I ain't even saying nothing. And she has a whole giraffe neck. She'll turn it around and put her head right here on my shoulder. And it's just like, yo, I'm here. I got you. Yeah. And one day when it really sat to me where I realized like, yo, this dog, you for real. I went to a repeating client and she was like, hey, you want to see the dog that I brought you? I go up the sidewalk and I have to go around the house. I can hear my dog. And she's just like a high-pitched yap over and over and over. And I come back and I sit down. I'm plugging into the GPS of where I'm going to go. And I just turn and look at her. I'm like, yo, Dressry, I'm good. I said, I'm chill. I'm good. And I just kind of leaned over and I just gave her a kiss and went back to my GPS. And I licked my lips. I was like, my lips salty. She was crying. She had full-blown tears because she couldn't see me no more. She couldn't have my back. She can't protect me. So from that day on, she's the most calmest dog in my house. I can ask the dog anything to where like, yo, do this, do that, no pushback, do whatever. She accepts dogs. If I accept it, she accepts it. If I have a problem with it, she doesn't accept it. But if we're on the road and everything else, like she's a protection dog. But on top of that, she's a great emotional support dog. Like I'll be sleeping and like, if there's something happening outside, she'll come lay right by me when I'm on the road. She'll lay her head right on my pillow and watch right outside the window. And she always stays close. When I'm sitting right here watching TV or whatever, she'll literally come hug herself right up against my thigh and just sit there and watch the back door. She does it, like right now she's laying right there. I have a back patio door right here. Oh, she's facing the door. See anything of where any threats are coming from. So she's but she's half American Bulldog, half Boerboel.
Half Boerboel.
Yeah, African Mastiff.
Yeah.
So my base of breeding is I breed oldies, Boerboels, and American Bulldogs. So she's the first foundation of what I call my African Bulldog. And I actually bred her to my oldie production that's off the belly sister, of the half sister of what Gam has. Yeah, so her son is what I bred to his. I made an oldie out of that. So this breeding is 1 part oldie, 1 part Boerboel, 2 parts American Bulldog. Wow. Yeah, and the size and everything, they're all there. Like I don't know. Hey Gam, Dennis, you got a picture of Tookie?
Yeah.
About how much does she weigh? She's about
about a good 125, 135.
125, 135 for a female?
Hey, Dennis, you want to let them know about a Dressry?
I'll pull her up right now.
Yeah, she's a Pretty big dog, big bone.
Whoa.
So this is the one. Turkey's the one on the right.
That's yours, Ernest.
Yeah, the one on the right, and so the one on the left is Diesel's dad.
Yeah,
Daisy's grandfather, and Daisy Gam's dog. That's her grandfather, but it's my boy's great grandfather.
She is enormous. She is.
No, that's a male.
No, this is the male.
That's the male. That's the oldie.
Yeah, that's the oldie.
Yeah,
the Borbal, the half Borbal. I think I have her around here somewhere.
Okay.
She's massive. She's taller than him. So feet to shoulder, she's over 26 inches. That's her right there.
That's her right there. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's her. Only in that picture right there, she was about not even a year. She was about 10, 11 months old.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that. I don't know if I've seen any other recent ones.
So I don't really have any.
She's still very much a puppy in that picture.
Yeah, and very much an adult too. So like, and even at the same time, like people will always ask, like, "Yo," because we're transporting dogs, it can be a dog in heat. She don't care. Like if it comes on the van, it can be in heat. She don't care. She's like, my job is to protect that dog and protect all the puppies. She does not care. Like the dogs, like when they get on the van, like when they're outside the van, she's like, "Yo, I don't know you, I don't trust you, but you can't come close to this van." But then when they get in the van, she's just like, "Oh, I gotta watch you too. It ain't no big deal."
Vic, I was looking for that video I sent you where my friend's little toddler is all over.
Yeah.
I was looking for it. I couldn't find it, and I had to go back to your text messages with you.
Yeah.
I sent it to Vic, and I was like, okay, here it is. But
so before I forget, I gotta say this. Okay, this video, dude. You sent me this like a day after we met or something. Like on WhatsApp. You sent it to me right. It might have even been day of. But okay, so who? Okay, this is the it's a male, yeah.
Yeah, this is a male. This is Peso's son.
Peso's son. Okay.
Yeah, and the dam to this male is Athena, the female that was here with me. That's
now that you have it on a still of this like photo, still from the video. Yeah, I never noticed how massive his shoulders are.
Oh yeah,
because he's already kind of like leaning with I think with nephew, right?
Yeah, no, this is my friend's son.
Okay, friend's son. But you see your bulldog right there, and he's kind of like leaning a little bit, like playing with him, and his shoulders popping out. That's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's shoulder. That's a big shoulder, man.
So you see that wood plank there in the back? This wood back there?
Yeah.
Okay. He broke it off. That was a spring pole. He broke it? He broke it.
Heavyweight, boy.
Yeah, so my buddy had to add a bigger piece to it because this is the second one that he breaks, and I have a video where he breaks it and he still keeps pulling it, and it's just to burn energy. But this is what Vic, we talk about temperament. Look at the little boy is with a wrench in his hand, and he's all over the dog. And
I was looking at that too.
In the beginning of the video, I think he smacks himself in the head with it because he makes his face. He's touching his head. Look.
Oh yeah.
See?
Yeah, pobrecito, probably got hit a little bit,
but see, he's all over the dog like nothing.
Yeah, that dog broke that spring pole.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That's
Jacob playing with his dog. Look at him.
Yeah,
that's what's his name? No,
that's that's George.
Yeah.
Knock him down.
Yeah, see, my son has always been very physical. So when he was little, he didn't even like my kind of course would never want to play with him. He'd protect him, he'd watch him, but he didn't want to play physical with him like that.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Like I said, even Gam's dogs, his boy, be all over his dogs like that. He jumps on them and everything, and you don't hear no growl. They literally just, kind of give up. Like, okay, do whatever you want me. But at the same time, Gam teaches his son too that you have to respect the dogs as well.
You gotta respect them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was I mean, it's not because there's people who really do have this, but in a way, the most minor, tiny little version of it, I feel like I do have. I do have like a little bit of PTSD when it comes to my past 13 years of my Cane Corso, because he was a nervous dog. Dude, we went as far. I don't know if any of you guys know this guy. You know the dog whisperer, the Cesar Millan guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I sent my dog, my Cane Corso, when he was 8-9 months. He went to go live with that guy for like a week and a half.
Really?
He used to go train at the Dog Psychology Center in Santa Clarita. My wife and I would go. My dog was about 7-8 months old. We started going once a week from Laverne, West Covina area, all the way to Santa Clarita to go train with this guy and his team of dog trainers, whatever. Because I was like, no, there's no way in hell I'm going to take on a Cane Corso who's powerful and let him be a scared dog of everybody, of every little car that passes, every little bird that chirps. He could kill someone. He's not a Chihuahua. So we put a lot of money and a lot of time in that guy, and he got better, but he was always nervous. He'd come in the house. I'm telling you, any one of you guys came in the house, and I'm talking no dogs. Let's just say you came to visit. He would be barking his head off for like the first 5 minutes. I'd have to put him away sometimes.
Wow.
Because I'm like, I don't want him to hurt somebody. If I don't know, you made a wrong move. I can't trust him. And he died 2 weeks ago. I still cried, but I told Dennis when I was out there in Cali, I never had that tight. He's probably the only dog I've ever had in my whole life where I didn't have that tight emotional bond with him. But you have him for 13 years, you still cry. I still miss him. He was still a good boy. He was a good boy 99% of the time. He was still a good boy, but I could never fully trust him. And that's why it's so paramount. That's why I'm like, first thing I'm looking for is temperament. It's got to be temperament. Then, of course, I want to walk down the street with a big old, broad, barrel-chested American Bulldog. I want that. I'm not the kind of guy. You'll never see me. I'll be dead before I do this. You'll never see me put a dog in a stroller. I'm sorry. I'm not that kind of guy.
Never.
I'm not
or a fanny pack or a purse.
Oh, hell no. No.
A little
pocket 4 legs. He could walk twice as good as me. He's walking.
Yeah, right.
No. But that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm saying. In a way, it feels like I'm asking for the perfect dog. But I do want a dog, like you're saying, Ernest, right? I'm driving, you're right here. Like I've seen all the videos again, dude. I follow you guys on Instagram. These dogs, you can have them on the spring pole. You can have them on a flirt pole, and then you could take them down to, I don't know. I got to go to Home Depot real quick. I got to pick up some light bulbs, some 2x4s. He's good. People want to come say hi, or they're nervous. If you're nervous, no worries. That's what he's supposed to do. If you have ill will towards me, he should make you nervous. Yeah. But a little one comes up and she's licking a lollipop and she wants to say hi, go ahead, because I could trust him implicitly, him or her. I'm looking for him though, because my female pit bull is not good at females. She's not, man. She's just not. I could trust her with any human being. Infant to senior citizen. I can't trust her with dogs. Other than my Cane Corso, they were best friends. Any other dog I can't trust her with, man. So whenever I do get American Bulldog, I gotta do it right, because I'm like, this dog's not going anywhere and you're not going anywhere. She is my baby. Yeah. But you need to behave too at the same time.
Like in one of our episodes, we talked about this, and I firmly believe this. From the moment you're going to get a puppy at roughly 8 weeks old, and that right there, the most important part of training a puppy is from 8 weeks to 7 months old. That's that imprint stage. One of the most important things to do is heavily socialization. Like taking your dog, because Tookie, the puppy you just saw, where I work at it, we have a patio, it's a beach, and I take him there. I just went there on Saturday, and I take all my dogs up there. And that socialization, and even that helps with keeping control of a dog, and even the boundaries and everything. So this temperament that we all have, I think this line and what we do, I'm gonna say this, it's perfect for what you're looking for. It is perfect. And all that really needs to be done is you doing the work. And it's easy work, especially if you socialize them a lot. You keep the boundaries, and you're giving the dog commands and things at home. That's going to keep that mind and stuck on, like, hey, this is my family. This is what I'm supposed to do. I can build the confidence. You build the confidence by socialization and environmental, taking it to, don't take it to like regular, like dog parks and stuff like that. But going to Home Depot, Tractor Supply, taking the dog for walks and like letting people come and meet him, taking them to local restaurants where, you teach the dog to sit next to you, and then people come ask to pet the dog, and the dog's used to having people's hands on him, so the dog is never overly excited anymore because this is the normal part of life. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. You get a dog from Dennis, you get a dog from Gam, you get a dog from me, you're gonna always get that temperament, because temperament is one thing that I say it passes on. Temperament is just like that, because Tookie, he's just, he's a replica of his mom. And I say this because what his mom does, like she'll be sitting there, like she'll be sitting down, and she'll bring her foot up to her back foot to like her face and like try to chew on it. Tookie does the same exact thing. And then whenever her name is Feloti, so whenever Feloti's your petting her, and I stop petting her, she'll do this little paw thing. Tookie does the same exact thing. Yeah. So temperament traits all pass on, and all of us breathe the same thing. So we all got what you're looking for. And I'm just gonna tell you, like, honestly, real talk, man. You met Dennis. You met Diesel. You met Peso, and you put your hands on them. And to be able to put your hands on the dogs, but you see the genetics that we have is always consistent. There's your guy right there, man.
Yeah. I took a bunch of pictures of Peso. I took a few of Diesel, but I took a video of Peso. And dude, I remember I was like, I gotta get a picture of this guy's paws. He put his paw on my hand.
Yeah.
He took up so much of my hand. And I remember Dennis was kind of saying the same thing. Like, you can see pictures and videos of it. You can follow us on social media, whatever. But seeing a dog in person and putting your hands on the dog are two very different things. The social media, whatever video can never imitate it fully. Yeah. And when I saw Peso and Diesel in person, I was like, oh, dude, this video. I mean, I even sent it to my wife. I said, here's a video. Video will not do it justice, but I just want to send it to you anyway. And I said, it doesn't even compare. It doesn't compare putting your hands on a dog, spending time with that dog, connecting with that dog in person. It's not the same watching a video. I watch your guys' videos on all your social medias all the time. And it's awesome. I see these dogs. I was watching one with Gam the other day, and it reminded me of our old English. She would do the same thing too. It made me laugh so hard. You were spraying the water hose, and they do that silly thing, right?
Yeah. Was that the one with the skeleton?
English, yeah, he used to do that too, and it made me laugh. And I watched that. I must have watched that video like 4 times in a row. I just kept watching.
That's a Peso, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I don't have a dog that I ever do that. I've never had one that does that.
No.
Only have one. And it was a half Johnson, half hybrid Johnson dog that we had. All my other dogs are like, no, like they'll go drink water, but if I'm spraying the water hose, just go, like they don't care. They're not running from it. They're just
Peso does it, Dolly does it.
Yeah, these guys are crazy for it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just not that one of the lucky ones that gets one.
Yeah. I mean, all my other breeds of dogs I've had, a Korean Jindo, Cane Corso, Pit Bulls. I've had multiple Pit Bulls. None of them did it. Only my Old English Bulldog did it.
And, it was and you know what?
Forever to water.
Yeah, you're trying to do something. I'm like, come on, you guys are making this hard. Like, it's cool when we play, but sometimes it's like, just close it down and go inside. Yeah. But it turned into that big thing. But I've had dogs in the past that hated water, didn't like water. And I always remember saying, like, when I was like, man, I want to get dogs that like water. And that's why I like this breed, because most of them, they like water, right? That's like, something that I like and drew me towards them. And since I got my first one and my second one and my third one, I've always had like little pools and like little water, and it's fun. Like, they get to do stuff, and it's something I enjoy and they enjoy it. So
this is I'll paint this picture a little bit further, give you a little more backdrop. Especially ever since I went to go visit Dennis a couple months ago, right? Physically on there with Peso and Diesel, even with the females, just looking at them, right? Being there. Every day since then, I was asking my wife the other day, we actually got a date. We go on date night, right? And I found this little thing, and it's like it's these cards, and you ask each. It's supposed to deepen your relationship. It's supposed to have like emotional connection, right? So like, what was the thing you first noticed me first date? Oh, things like this, right? And I said, what's one thing that, and not at first glance, that you like really like about me? So I answered for my wife what I really like about her. She answered for me. She says, I like how obsessed you get about things. And what? You talking about obsessed? And she's like, I said, give me an example. So we're on a date. She's like, look at American Bulldogs. I said, what about them? And she's like, all you do is talk about them. But she's like, some people might find it like annoying or they don't like it. She's like, I love that about you, because she's like, some things are like maybe they waste time, but because she loves dogs too. She loves big dogs. So my wife's a Dodger fan first. She knew she was a Dodger fan. We like the same type of dogs. That's how I knew my wife was a keeper, because when we got our first Old English Bulldog, we were together for like 5 months. And she'd never had a dog in her life. And I was like, that's a big dog. He was 80 pounds. He was pretty big. But anyway, she's like, I like how obsessed you get. And I said, okay. And she's like, you're thinking of names. You're constantly talking about him. She's like, you're always hitting up this guy, Dennis. You went to his freaking house. And she's like, you get it once you lock onto something, you don't stop. And she's like, it's like locked jaw. Like you're just like stuck on this thing. And I did that with jiu-jitsu. I done that with other things in my life. But she's like, it's just like this obsessive thing, but it's always a positive thing. It's not like you're obsessed about something that's negative, right? And she's like, it makes me excited about it just the way you are in a way. You know, I said, I never thought about it like that. And so all I do, I'm telling you, my Instagram feed is like a few things: American Bulldog, American Bulldog, American Bulldog, American Bulldog. It's just like all American Bulldogs. And what's funny, what's kind of what I think is cute is my son. My son, right? 7 years old, autistic. He loves dogs. He gets afraid of like big dogs, even though we had one at home. But he's a lot better about it now. But he loves those videos and those pictures I sent. I've sent Dennis before. My son does not wear hats. I don't know if this thing with autism, but they don't like certain things. They like pressure, but they also don't like certain things touching them the way it feels. Dude, he rocks his hat. We'll go play with friends. Dennis gave me 2 hats. One of them I gave to my son. It's the almost like same exact one you're wearing now, Dennis.
Yeah.
He rocks it in the neighborhood, and he talks about American Bulldogs to his friends. 7 years old, having these conversations with other 7-year-olds. Like he owns one. Hey, we're gonna get one. Hey, Daddy, we're gonna get one, and I already chose the names. I even hit up Dennis. I'm like, dude, this guy, he's stuck on a few names, but we already have it, and he's like a little mini me. Like we'll watch videos on YouTube. We'll watch the same documentary one. Hey, look at Uncle Dennis put up a thing today on Instagram. Look at this, and dude, he's talking to his friends at school like we already have one. It's crazy.
That's that's cool.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like he's all about it now. He's like, we're gonna have one, Daddy, one day, and he's gonna sleep in my bed. I said, I don't know, maybe. Or how many do you want to have? Oh man, because ideally, like I would love to have a big piece of land, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Daddy would like, I like 4 or 5, maybe 6. He's like, oh, I want like 10. I said, damn, you want 10? I want to keep the dogs. But he's just like me. He's kind of like tunnel vision. Like, no, this is what I don't want anything but an American Bulldog.
He's like us. He's gonna become a breeder.
Yeah. Dude, I think he is. And the way autism works, they hone in on the little details of things. That, you start figuring out. Like he's really into my son's super into Legos right now, and he's doing ones that are 18 years and older, and he's 7 years old, and they're taking like cumulative about 2 hours, 3 hours. Sometimes he'll do it in an hour.
Wow, that's good.
He has to figure it out, and I'm like, he'll ask me for help. I'm like, Daddy doesn't want to do that. I'm good. I won't do that.
Yeah. Show me when you're done.
Yeah, show me what it looks like when you're all done. But yeah, he might be a breeder one day. The way he's like, he really hones in on specific details.
Yeah,
Vic, so I know that the viewers are probably gonna be like, oh, why he didn't continue? They're gonna want to know your experience with Cesar Milan Psychology Center.
I want to know too.
I got stories up the wazoo, man. You just ask and I will provide. I will give you. No worries.
We're gonna have to do a part 2.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and I would love to. It was so much fun.
Definitely, yeah. We're going into an hour and a half, so definitely we could leave this one for a second part. You know, and you could tell us your whole experience. Since how did you apply and everything, like the whole process.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was a while back, but I remember most of the details, most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is fun. And then that too, like, you said, like, your wife was saying about you get like, obsessed with those things. And that's the same thing. I come home and I'm like, and the same thing with the podcast too. She came in the garage and she's like, what the heck? Like, turned it into a studio. And I'm like, hey, this is what we're doing. I'm focused. The dogs, right? Same thing. So I think we could touch on that stuff too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't even get into the questions. I wanted to ask you guys a bunch of questions. I had like a notepad, I had a pen. I didn't get to these questions, man. We're just talking about whatever. So, no, I would love to you guys'
for a
brains.
second perfect. Yeah,
I am looking for that perfect dog, brother. I really am.
Definitely. We'll set it up. Not next week because next week I'll be out of town. But the following weekend, I'll send you a text and put it in the calendar and be like, Vic, same time, and if it works, we'll go from there.
Yeah, no, I think it'll work. Yeah, that's a weekend right before I head back to Cali, so that's like the last weekend I have. So
yes, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, but before we go off, guys, who we got? Are we going for the Chiefs or the Detroit Lions?
Oh, Detroit.
Oh, I don't have even
Detroit.
Detroit, brother.
Oh, bro, I gotta take the Chiefs tonight.
Well, you know what? The only sport I care about is right on top of Gabriel's head, man. I'm not wearing my Dodger cap right now. Want to flex? But that's
true. Hey, we ain't back. We're all Dodger fans here. We're all Dodger fans.
That's the only thing my brain is really focusing on right now. Like they got to win game one.
Podcast, everybody wear a Dodger hat when we do.
Okay,
there you go.
Locked in. We gotta get locked in.
Locked
in, brother. Locked in. They got to.
But Vic, for real, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Your energy is really dope. Just your experience of everything. I'm really looking forward to part 2. Like we've done a lot. We've done a few podcasts and stuff like that, but this one has just a whole different feel and a different energy. And I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait for part 2, man.
Definitely. I really appreciate that, brother. I really do. All of you guys, like I said, man, like, I met Dennis first, and I've been blessed with his. I'm gonna call it friendship. I've been blessed with this friendship. I really, really have. Yeah. And I'm so grateful. And I told him I was heading down there, him and his wife. I stopped by anywhere I could. I pick up a little bottle of wine. I don't know if your wife drank it, but I was like, I don't want to be handed. I'm filled with gratitude every day. I'm above ground. I have breath in my body. I have gratitude. Right. When I forget that, that's when things start going haywire. So I'm so grateful for him. But I see that same dynamic with all of you guys. You guys are all, look, I love this breed. I'm not out to try to make $1 million a year selling puppies. That's not what I'm doing. I do it because I genuinely love the breed. And it's a huge haystack. And you guys are tiny little needles, because for every one of you, there are 10,000 people who call themselves breeders, backyard terrible people who just have a bitch and a male and they get them pregnant. Here's my puppies. They're X amount of dollars per puppy. Yeah. And they don't care about it. They're just trying to make a living. They're trying to, boom, boom. Here's the next one. So telling you guys are a rarity, man. So I'm very, very grateful for all of you guys. I follow all of you guys.
Appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, definitely. So guys, we'll catch it on the next one for part 2. I'm Dennis with Regard Bulls. We got Gam American Bulldogs, and Ernest with Great Hall. And Vic, thank you for everything. Catch you guys in the next one.